Yeah, I got put in Instagram jail.
Yes, I did too.
We both on the same day got put in Instagram jail.
I think Instagram was just being really, like, mad about life.
That was really weird. Mine was, like, very, like, okay, I get it. Out of context, it was not great. Mine was, like, somebody's I was engaging. So, like, an author posted, like, what's, something hilarious that you've had to Google as an author? And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, like, where to buy drugs in Barcelona." But the way, like, I worded it, I tried to put it in quotes, so it wasn't, like, it didn't look I tried to put it in quotes, like, but I literally came out like
Okay,
you go to
that one
the
checks out.
Instagram. Yeah, if you go to the Instagram and it's like, "You violated community guidelines," like, you can't send any messages for 3 days or whatever, and it's like, "Here's your quote," and it was like, "Where can you buy cocaine in Barcelona?"
This is what we get. This is what we get for
I
trying.
know, and I was like, "Okay, fair, but
But
you didn't read the context of the post, but fine, I will let you." And then I started to get, things that were like, "If you need help with substance abuse." Yeah.
stop.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
that's,
bad.
like, next level. I didn't realize it was
Mhm.
going to that level. Anyways,
Today's episode, is not about Instagram jail, but we wanted to take this time for Galentine's Day to chat about female main characters.
yes, because they're
And
pretty much the reason why we're reading these days.
we're reading them, we're writing them. It is a tangled web of complication, this topic, but let's just talk about it, and I feel like we need to be honest about it and really talk about how we're feeling, things we've read, what's working, what's not working, how we're writing them, like, and how hard it is.
Yeah, because you have probably heard me say how much I, like, dislike about 75% of female main characters that I read. Like, it just something doesn't jive with me sometimes, and maybe it's because, like, I'm trying to identify with the character,
Mhm. Sure.
and I'm just not whiny and helpless, like, in real life.
So, I have to tell you,
Okay.
I and you've gotten me way more into fantasy and characters
Romance.
that in romance, like characters that are like, and I think going into fantasy in general, like you are talking about characters that are truly created, right? Like it's like
Yes.
really
Yeah.
hard to you're in these situations, like you're putting women in certain situations that are just not real or realistic, right?
Correct.
Like I'm sure you're trying to like find the universal themes of the things that we all experience and put them, but they're in like extreme circumstances. And so I think it's like you all have a really hard time in that realm. So I give you some grace. I give I give those authors a lot of grace. But man, sometimes you want to shake these characters.
In the realm of fantasy books,
Mhm.
female main characters are put in more like pressure cooker situations where aspects of their personality and like their character arc, like they need to like be very blatantly obvious. Like if there's subtlety, it needs to be resolved at points. Like it needs to have like callbacks later on in the story.
Mm.
Fantasy authors, yeah, we decide that because we dislike the rules so much that we need to control the rules and make our own worlds and everything, but with that comes a higher task, a larger task of making these female main characters just not shitty. So, but I find in like contemporary romance, there's no excuses, and I still don't like them.
But you're a girl's girl too. Like me, like
That's true.
I am like definitely a girl's girl. So I'm like I want to really just love the girl that I'm reading and root for her. At the same time, see her flaws. Characters are like people are flawed. But damn it, it's really hard sometimes unless they are super real. I don't know how to
Yeah.
say that. I think in fantasy a lot, and I love, like, when you said because we hate following the rules, you see that in these female main characters so much because they also hate following the rules,
Isn't
and
that
that
funny?
seems to yeah, that seems to define their entire character a lot of the time, though.
Yeah,
They're
it
just like the
does.
girl that hates the rules. Like, I'm not a man can't tell me what to do. Like, the amount of times that I've read I don't know, I'm gonna say it, but in ACOTAR, how many times is she, like, doing something where the guys come out and they're just like, "Why would you do that? I told you not to do that." She's like, "I don't care, I just did it anyway." And you're
I
like,
love you.
But that was
I
a
l
stupid choice that you made."
love you, Sarah J. Maas. Love you. But ACOTAR, maybe not the best female main character you've ever written. Throne of Glass, that's a different story. Because, like, she actually has a plan the entire time, and she is thinking ahead. Not so much in ACOTAR.
Ooh, I like that point. So, like, you feel like that character more than just the motivation and their backstory about why they are maybe doing the things that they are, but there has to be an end goal
Yes.
destination
Yes.
for them because sometimes I'm just like, why are you doing that? Why you were told specifically not to do that for good reason, for
Like, girl,
very
you
good
have no
reasons.
impulse control.
Don't go
Like,
there. And I feel like her reasons were just never good enough for me. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I have full disclosure, I've only read the first one, and everyone tells me the second one is like, "Where are you?"
just had this conversation the other day. Same thing. I'm like, you get past the first one. The first one is really just tip of the iceberg, and the actual like meat is in the rest of the books.
Mhm.
Um, Especially the novella one, the you can see right there, the blue one. Beep, right there.
Yeah,
That one's the best one.
got it. Okay. So I think but just going towards fantasy, like, that shit is that's really hard. You really have to focus on character and,
Mhm.
like, introducing that character and everybody just having a real good picture of
Mhm.
her.
I think the most successful female main characters in fantasy books are the ones that have agency and purpose. So they make their own decisions, even if they're not good decisions, but they have a
Right.
reason for it. It's not just like on a whim. And maybe that reason isn't divulged right away. That's kind of like the whole point of telling a story. But there are there are a lot of books where I read these. I'm like, going back to your point, I'm like, why the hell did you make that choice? Like, why? What prompted you to make such a bad choice? But also the ones where it's like, how did you make that really excellent choice that all of a sudden worked out? Like, it feels almost like a cop out when you don't make your female main characters work for it a little bit, where you just like hand them the world and be like, here's the answer.
Mhm.
I don't know. I have a really hard time with a woman that doesn't have intellect be her number one, like, tool. And that's why I'm writing my book the way I am, of a woman not being given all of the information. It doesn't feel realistic to me because women know. They know all the things. They seek it out. They will like research the crap out of anything that they do not know. So when someone doesn't have like a character doesn't have the desire or the fortitude to persevere and figure it out and like find the knowledge that they're missing, I'm like, nah, not realistic. Like you see the level. I don't know about you, Kate, but my levels of social media and internet stalking are like top tier. You give me like one notion of their name and maybe their profession and I can find out pretty much everything about them.
Yeah. I I can back you up on that. You definitely do. I think and maybe we have just Western storytelling to blame this on, but
Oh.
I feel like authors are having to follow this hero's journey because that seems to be what sells or what they're looking for. And the hero's journey like really does a disservice sometimes to your characters because a lot
Especially
of
female characters.
especially female characters because like I feel like the thing that women tend to use when writing women is that they just start out young and naive and then they end enlightened. And I get it because I'm more or less doing that in mine too. But it's almost like just this like I'm starting out as like I don't know anything about the world and then I end and I know a little bit more and I'm more street smart. And like who and it's like that is us just trying to write towards to the hero's journey. That's
You're
all that
so
is.
right. You are so right. And I remember Vanessa Riley in
Mhm.
Albuquerque when we went to that
Love
retreat. She
her.
said the same thing. She's like, the hero's journey is not meant for female main characters.
It's
It
really not. It's really hard. And that's
Mhm.
what I kept getting in my book because like you know, like she's just a girl that hasn't really like traveled the world a lot. So she doesn't have like a lot of world experience, like cultural experience, but she's super smart and I tried to just like get across that she's really good at her job and she's very capable and talented at what she does. She just has this mindset that's just a little bit like inward and not outward and like she's just kind of a little bit closed off and people would be like readers they were like, "Well, why doesn't she want to travel the world?" I'm like, well, like, it's just not a reality for her. That's a normal thing. Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of women out there who can't afford to just go to Paris, or like it's not a part of their life, or it's not how they grew up, like feeling comfortable doing that.
Right.
And they're like, well, she has to have this like motivation that's sticking her to where she is, and like this fear and like whatever it is. And I'm like, no, she doesn't. She can just be like a normal woman who got stuck in her day to day and doesn't want to go anywhere. Like, I think that's very relatable. I don't know like why it has to be
No,
this like
I
dramatic journey that like it's like why can't it just be a great story about a woman who finally gets to have some experiences and like learns how to live in them and enjoy them and see different people and you know what I mean? And it's not like this like grand. I just want to read real women. I think what I've come to believe is that I want to read real women and I like when I get to read real women in like extraordinary circumstances.
totally agree. And I want to be able to read women that are above the age of 19.
I am really enjoying that, and I think, like, I didn't know that this is gonna sound so, like, I didn't know I was gonna like that so much. But even, like, I just read, The Correspondent, and
Yeah.
she's, like, a 78-year-old woman, and I'm like, it was one of the best books probably of the year, I think, but
Unless it is a book that is specifically about like coming of age or developing your sense of purpose or your morals, things that one does in their early 20s. Cool. But I am really tired of reading fantasy novels of those extraordinary circumstances, and they're all really young. I'm like, not cool because I was not a like fully realized human at 18 or 19, and I cannot relate to those characters as well. If it is a person that has gone through life and then gets like a tornado like launched at them and they have to deal with it, far more capable of doing so. And I think especially now, readers want that more and more often. I
yeah.
look at the demographic of people that are reading, that are buying the books, that are engaging on social media and other platforms. And it's a lot of women from 30 to 45. So why don't we write more characters like that? Is it hard? I don't think so. Um, but I would love to hear from more people if that is hard to write,
Yeah.
or is it this pressure that we have from the current trends to write female main characters that are young? I don't know.
It totally could be, and it could be very genre specific too. Another kind of character that I'm seeing pop up a lot in, like, romance or romantic comedies, um, is the old favorite, the manic pixie dream girl. You know her, you love her. She started in, like, I don't know, 2005, 2006, we started to see the manic pixie dream girl, like the 500 Days of Summer, the girl who's just not like the other girls, like she's quirky as fuck. She like eats pancakes for dinner and she dances in the rain and she listens to indie music you've never heard. It's going to change your life. Garden State, we saw it with Garden
Yeah.
State, the ultimate. Just the Zoe Deschanel. Anybody that you're like Zoe Deschanel could play this part is, but it is having a resurgence. It is here again, and it is crazy because at this point,
It's
I'm
been done.
reading girls, and I'm just like, just get back in the car, get out of the rain, just get back in the car, just like, go back to your, don't
Unless
drag
you're
them out into the rain.
No, I no, I'm so tired of it, and I'm probably gonna get, like, hate mail for this, but I didn't actually like the movie The People We Meet on Vacation.
I love Emily Henry. It's not my favorite because I do feel like she's like too manic pixie dream girl. And like one of the books I just read, I was like, she's a pet turtle, and she's really attached to it as like a grown ass woman. I just can't, I can't relate to this, but
Like, do
I
women have to be quirky in order to
do.
be interesting?
Is it like our stereotypes are like, yeah, we are either strong and masculine and like we can do all the things that men do and it makes us so amazing, or we are just manic pixie dream girls, like just little fairies flitting around the earth, looking for love in all the wrong places, or like, or we are just, or we're like mice who are too scared of the world. It's like these like I don't know if they're tropes. I don't know if I call them tropes, but they're just like the characters that are just not working for me. And it's showing me how hard it is to write a good female main character that people can identify with.
When you were writing your book, did you find yourself ever, like, falling into those tropes, or stereotypes, or was it very natural for you to have your female main character kinda carve a new path and have a different kind of voice than what was already out there?
Hey, I mean, we're gonna find out. Like as soon as people start reading it, they're gonna be like, "What is this bitch talking about?" Her female main character is naive and um no, you know what? I think that what happens and when you fall into those traps is when you are trying to move the plot somewhere very specifically. Like, if you get into that, and this is only my experience, I am not a professional in this, but it's like when you get to that point where it's like, "Oh my god, what's gonna happen next? I don't know. I'm at kind of a block." I think in your mind, you just turn to those things that we
Familiar.
see on repeat that or feel familiar, or like instead of just diving deeper into the character and like, or diving deeper into the action or whatever it is that's gonna take you to, like, where you need to go, you're just kinda turning to the things that feel, like, safe and familiar.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay, do you remember when we were at the retreat, Catherine Matthews, she was saying that her second book, her editor had told her multiple times, "You have to dig deeper, you have to dig deeper," and it made her really
Mm.
uncomfortable, and she said, "It made me so uncomfortable to the point where this is the best work I've ever written, because
Yeah,
it was so much work to get deeper and deeper," and I think that is why we go towards the familiar, or we end up going down these stereotypes or tropes or whatever the hell we wanna call them, and we end up writing female main characters that are just lacking that dimension and lacking that depth, because it really is almost like pseudo therapy. You have to do the work, you have to
yeah,
dig deep.
yeah,
And it's yet another thing that I feel like as women, it's another expectation laid upon us. I I don't know if people like Stephen King or other male authors have to dig that deep with their character. Does that feel unnatural? Or are men coming across as authentic without having much depth upon them?
I'm wondering that I mean, I'm trying to think of a good example of, like, something written by a guy that I'm just like, "Oh, this really nails it." I'm sure they're out there, but real women in real circumstances, so it's hard, like, and I that's why I talk so much about fantasy because 'cause I'm like, I think that's where it's, like, the hardest is for you fantasy
Mhm.
writers. Maybe people can comment on this and just say, like, you are starting from scratch.
Hmm. I wasn't for
Okay.
mine.
Yeah,
Okay.
what's been helping you or what's been the biggest challenge with that?
So because I so enjoyed all of the world building and I love diving deep into kind of the catalyst for this story of like the backstory. If I were to write a prequel, what would it be? Like you kind of
Mhm.
have to form it all in your head.
Right, that's
And it's really fun. I loved it. My main character, she was kind of the antithesis of what I had experienced in a lot of fantasy novels. She was well educated. She had a path for herself. She was not by any means helpless. But then I crafted a world where a woman wasn't doing herself a disservice by being intelligent. Like women were created very much on the equal playing field of men. And it I love my book so much, and I really wish it was done so I could, like, share it with people because I love these characters so much, they're just the best. Um,
that's the
but she
best.
but she is, like she has tenacity, she has gumption, and she has a very distinct voice, and all of those traits I took from women that I admire in real life. I'm like, "What if
Mhm.
all of these things that I'm observing" and, some of them come from myself as well, not majority of them at all. That would be not a fun story, but it'd be very chaotic and just all over the place and would make 0 sense to anyone. You would need an appendix. I just took all of those super strong qualities, I put them into one character, and then I kind of just I am a plotter, but I let her kind of dictate where she wanted to go in the plot. And it was so fun because a I didn't come up with the ending until I was coming up on the ending. Like, I didn't know how it was going to end. I didn't know how she was going to react. And it was almost like watching it unfold, and I remember writing that ending and figuring it all out and be like, "This is how it ends. This is the whodunit, and this is the arc that she takes." I'm like, "This is freaking brilliant!" And Cody was very disturbed. He's like, "What just happened? Are you
Highs are high.
okay?" Oh, it was so good. But the circumstances that she was under, yes, 100% were made up. And yes, they were like very extreme circumstances, but she's a real person. Like she is very like
Yeah.
she has flaws. She makes decisions. She has agency. She really is the girl's girl. Like if you met her, you would be absolutely terrified of her. But you would
Yeah.
also be like,
I wanna be
you are
her.
you are the Beyonce of this realm of where we're hanging out. Like, who runs the world? You do. Right there. And that was one of the songs that was on my playlist was, there was a fair bit of Beyonce.
I love this conversation about female main characters because this isn't like us hating or like there are so many out there to love. It's just I love that women's fiction is having its moment right now and we're
So
enjoying
many.
reading them so much. And it's
There's
like
so
the
many
experience of the
characters.
writer though.
Yeah. I love that we even can have this conversation. We have so many amazing female main characters to choose from and to discuss.
You know?
The good, the bad, and the otherwise. I don't think we would have been able to 10 years ago.
No, I think we'd still be seeing a lot of dudes writing female main characters. And you know what? Maybe that's where all of these stereotypes and these things come from that we're so used to seeing pop up so
Yeah.
much is maybe from the dudes. Um, but I mean, look at our first favorite female main character that I just feel like Bridget Jones, and look at how far we've come even from then. And uh, yeah, I don't know, Mary Tyler Moore the first one we actually, like, all got to see, like, a real woman, like, portrayed as, like, working and trying to, like, do it all, but for me, it was Bridget Jones, where it was just like, I'm obsessed with this woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just yeah, she's
Hers
quirky, but she's so authentic. Like, you know who that is,
and
and
she's so flawed but not in a way that makes her unlikable, just relatable.
mhm. Like, she wasn't flawed because she was broken, she was flawed because
Right.
she's a person.
And it's really hard to write flaws when you are talking like, I definitely struggled with that a little bit because I think I was just writing so personally about stuff that I was just writing myself, and I was like, "My character gets cheated on, it's not a big surprise, it happens right away," but, like, you have to see why he would cheat on her. At some point, you have to just be like, "Why did this happen to her?" He's not just a douchebag. He's unlikable, but he's not just an asshole. Like, there has to be there's a reason, like, he wasn't fulfilled in this relationship with her. There's something that she's not able to provide for him that, would kinda also contribute to like, you have to write flaws as well as making them I mean, it's hard. It is
It is hard.
very hard.
But isn't it kind of like a puzzle when you figure it out?
Yeah.
Where and you can't just write you unless it's an autobiography? Because
That mo
yes, I saw some post, I forgot which day it was, um, or who it was or whatever, but it was essentially if you wrote yourself as the main character, verbatim, it's going to be very boring
Yeah.
because we are normal people, but we need some pizzazz. We need some, like, polish, or we
Yeah.
need a little, like, scuffing up, like, something just to add the layer and make it enticing to so many more different types of audiences.
Yeah. There in there, you need to show that like, it's gonna sound, like, so cliche, but the depth doesn't come easily. It just doesn't, and I think it was Crystal on one of the episodes where she said that she was told to write letters from her character, and I feel like normally, if anybody told me that, I'd be like, "Oh my god, no." But there is something to just doing whatever you can to unlock that chamber in your brain that has the ideas, that has the depth, that has the story, that has the digging deeper part. Like, how do you dig deeper? You have to do all of these extra things.
Yeah, and they're not writing your book. It's either writing
It's not.
exercises, it's
It's not.
using visuals, it's making a Pinterest board or a playlist or something
Mhm.
that the creative brain is such an interesting place, and I've been in touch with my creative brain for a very long time. Um,
It
thank
lives
you,
there
college.
somewhere.
You have to experience something from not the point of view of writing. If that is your end result. For
That's a good way to say
example,
it. Yeah.
I had a professor in college. It was my sculpture professor, and he told everyone, "You cannot look at art as inspiration for your next sculpture or for your next project. You can't look at art. Do not look at artists. Don't go to the like art section in the library, but you physically need to go to the library and you need to go look at books and you need to have some reference point that you can cite and it can't be artwork." And a lot of people eh, toyed with the idea of like architecture, and he's like, it's a little gray area, but sure, if it gets the point across, why not? And I went in totally like, I'm like, this is shit. I don't want to do this. Like, I want my sculpture to look like this. Like, I had the end result already figured out in my head. I didn't have a reason for it. But I'm
Mm.
like, I will listen to you fine, because I follow most of the rules. So I went to the biology section, like the plant biology specifically, and I started looking at books and I found some of the most gorgeous renderings of seed pods. And it was so cool. And then I found another book about defenses that plants have against like predators or against animals. And I combined the two and I made a really awesome sculpture and it was beautiful. I loved it. But I wouldn't have arrived there ever if I hadn't done that pre-work of not referencing something that had already been created. So I
Mhm.
needed to go through the process of discovering the why, discovering the purpose, and really like that depth and the meat of what I was actually doing. And then the form kind of just came. And so many people, they write books because they want to entertain or they want to reach a certain demographic or they want to have a happy ending or they want to have a character that overcomes this major obstacle like divorce or a death in the family. But what if you just came up with your inspiration first and not your end result first? I think
Mhm.
you would a lot of people would have greater success and maybe even less strenuous, creative processes.
That's such a great way to say it because, yeah, I think that a lot of the times we're told to like start with your one sentence pitch or start with this. And then I feel like then I'm just writing for the
To
market.
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
to that, which we can do a whole episode on just writing for the market. And if the market is selling the manic pixie dream girl, then I'm sure a lot of us are just going to write the quirkiest, quirky
Yes.
girl that still sleeps with her stuffed animals girl. Um, which is fine if that's what everybody wants to read. But at some point, there has to be the why of like, yeah, of what you're creating.
I don't think I'd want to write to the market.
That's a bold statement.
I know, and it kinda hurt me saying it, but I don't
Say
think I
it
want
out
to.
loud. I have notes and I have made the courageous decision.
So this is my press release.
I have notes. But it feels like that.
It does.
You don't have to. Like nobody's saying that you have to.
No, and I don't want to write the next ACOTAR, or I don't wanna write the next Throne of Glass or
Yeah.
Fourth Wing or whatever. I wanna write what I wanna write my story, and that's also why I think I'm going to indie publish at the end of the day. Like,
Mhm.
I don't want someone to say, "That won't sell," because I'm not if your goal is to sell as many books as you can, that's your goal, and you will do what you need to achieve that goal. That's not gonna be my goal. Nope. My goal is to tell this really unique story that I made up, and I want some people to read it. I don't have a goal in mind, but I want it out there, and I want it to be what I want it to be. I
Yeah.
wanna have that control because little real life talk. As a mom of 2 who has a job and has a husband and a house and all of these things, there's not much in my life that I have actual control over. You
Mhm.
try reasoning with a 2-year-old that I call my Sour Patch Kid. You cannot. I am reacting maybe 70% of the day to the circumstances that are in front of me because I need
Absolutely.
and
Right? Like, I just feel like sometimes I feel like the day is happening to me,
yes.
and
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not
So this
tackling it. I'm not, like, getting I am really reining in the day. The
no,
day is
no.
just coming at me.
Yep. And I'm doing what I can within that 24-hour period. And if it is taking a nap because I am actually exhausted, cool. My goal is to really just I can't have any. I just want to go through life. Sure, I want to publish my book this year, but I'm just going to go through life. I'm going to let it come at me and not freak out about it. That's my goal of not getting completely swamped and overwhelmed by the lack of control I have in the day. Okay, thanks. Bye. That's my TED Talk. Um,
See,
but
I'm fine reading that woman. I need more women like that.
Yes, me too. Me too.
And see how they
I I have to make one of my contemporary romances about that because I need yes, I need more of those.
cheers to the girls.
Gosh, cheers to the girls.
We love reading the girls. We love reading the girl. Keep the girls coming. Just make some more moms too in these romance. Like I'm enjoying the romance recently too, but I'm like, I need a mom with some kids who like doesn't have a lot of time to date. It's okay. I just can't wait to read like the next female main character that I'm really excited about. And I'm like, yes, this is really nailing it.
And if you have one either that you made or that your friend made or that you just read, please share it. Doot, doot, doot. Because I want I just want like a stack of books about women that at the end of the day, I'm like, "Oh, that was wonderful. That like floored me with how much I was rooting for her." And to quote the ever powerful, the ever famous Tyra Banks, we were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
all rooting for you.